people in your life who don't communicate well, it's not because they are deficient in any kind of intellectual way. It's not because they're stupid. It's not because they can't do it. It's actually very strategic. Now, here's what's important to understand. First of all, what is this behavior? What does it look like? Someone in your life who's controlling, when they don't communicate well with you, what happens is you find yourself in a lot of situations where there was information that you needed to know that actually you were not included on. This could be in a family situation. Maybe there is an event that's coming up, or maybe something somebody in the family needs. This could be in a family situation. It could be in your personal life. Maybe there are particular details about an important event coming up, or maybe you're making plans together. Maybe this is at work and you're working on a group project and everybody's input is important. And that communication, that open communication is really important. It doesn't matter where it is, but the motivation is usually the same. Here's what's important to understand, and it's really counterintuitive if you think about it. Take a highly controlling person. Let me ask you a question, and I think you're probably going to be able to figure out by the question what the answer is with me not even saying it. A highly controlling person. Is their goal to become a really good communicator, do you think? Take the highly controlling person in your life. Doesn't matter where it is in your life, which part of your life you have someone who's really controlling in. That highly controlling person, do you believe that they have set a goal for themselves to become a truly good communicator, to truly improve their communication, to become more transparent in their communication, to include others more in their communication? Do you think that's true? And you probably have guessed it. No, that is the counterintuitive part. People who are highly controlling, they usually don't even have the same goal that most people do to want to become better communicators. Now, why would your average person want to become a better communicator? Because deep down, we all know that good communication, transparency, and openness, we all know that those improve the quality of relationships, that good communication increases the T word. What do you think good communication increases? A sense of fill in the blank with others. Trust. Somebody who communicates well and openly and transparently and includes others. People tend to trust that person who communicates well. So here's one of the things that's really important to understand about the highly controlling person so that you can learn to deal with them better. They don't have some of the same goals that we are socialized to have in society. Now, here's the challenge. You take the person in your life who doesn't communicate well, actually, let's just be honest, who could even be an outright terrible communicator. You take that person, and in the system that you are involved with them in, whether it's a family system, a work system, if you take the highly controlling person and you really ask for them to change, you try to bring up the issue, you try to talk about it and try to explain why you think openness and transparency and good communication is important in that system that you are interdependent with them. If you try to bring these things up with them, and do you think that this will change? The highly controlling person, will they change this trait of being controlling? The answer is a lot of times they will not. A lot of times the highly controlling person will not be motivated to change. Now, we need to understand why that would be the case. And to do so, we need to look at the motivation. What motivates a highly controlling person to be such a bad communicator? As I said from the beginning, it's not because they're stupid. It's not some intellectual deficiency that makes them bad communicators. The motivation of the highly controlling person is the control word, control, and the power word, power. A lot of times, the highly controlling person is motivated to only share information with others. Doesn't matter how close they are to you, to only include you on the details that they decide in that moment they want to release to you. The highly controlling person does not want to include everyone, or a lot of times even anyone, in all of the information that they are the holder of. This is how the highly controlling person feels powerful and in control. They say to themselves, I'm the only one that holds all the information. And they don't want to change that. This is how they organize their world. This is how they reduce the two things that are usually underlying all of the controlling person's behavior, which is fear and anxiety. Fear and anxiety. The highly controlling person thinks if they were to change and they were to start communicating well and let everyone in to the decision-making process, let others know the full extent of all the information they need. If they were to do this, the controlling person is afraid that everything would spiral out of control and fall apart. The mistake that the controlling person makes is to tell themselves that to communicate only certain information, to withhold certain information, to operate in that way, they tell themselves that that is the best way for them to manage their circumstances. But it's a mistake because it loses the trust of others around them. Sometimes the environment can feel unpredictable, chaotic, or idiosyncratic. There doesn't sometimes seem to be a clear method to the madness. A lot of times other people see this behavior and they think, wait, why was this made? Why was this decision made? Why did this happen this way? Things don't seem to make sense or add up. So people start to lose faith in the overall workings of the system. Again, whether it's a family system or a work system or even just a two-person romantic relationship system. Deep down, what people are looking for in this life is to feel like they are a part of collaborative processes where they get a vote, where they get to express what they think, what they need, what they feel, and that the system that they're in cares about that too, that everybody has a vote, that everybody gets a chance, that together problems and issues are worked out, and above all, that there is transparency. So when people are in situations or dynamics with someone who's highly controlling, deep down, they're afraid there isn't true transparency from the controlling person, and that makes them feel they can't truly trust. And if you don't have trust, a lot of people would say, well, what really do you have? How good, how high quality can any relationship be, no matter what type the relationship is? How high quality can that relationship be if trust, transparency isn't a cornerstone of it? Okay? I'm Dr. Seth, psychologist.